I want to share more with you on the business side of the stimulus package and the CARE Act. So a lot's going on the business side, and there's a lot of things to cover. You've got multiple versions of loans, you've got multiple options. A lot of people are asking, what can I apply for? What's the right process? How do I make sure I don't make a decision that allows me not to do something else? Going to cover a lot of those things now for you that you can utilize from a business owner standpoint. So in my opinion, by far the number one option out there right now is the Paycheck Protection Program. This loan is the forgiveness side. You get a loan amount based on a percentage of your payroll. You take your payroll if you're a new business for January and February of 2020. If you're an existing business that's been in business for an entire year or more, you take the average of your payroll over 2019 or those 12 months, and you're able to apply for a loan that's 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. Now, once you get that loan, what you're able to do is you're actually able to forgive payments up to the full amount of the loan based on what you spend on payroll, rent, utilities, and mortgage interest over an 8-week period. So if you're able to borrow 25 grand, once you're approved for the loan, if you spend that 25 grand on payroll, rent, mortgage interest, or utilities from a business standpoint, you don't have to pay any of that back. It's money that they want you to use to continue to pay your employees. They want you to use to continue to operate your business so you survive and weather some of this storm. That, because it has a forgiveness option, is by far the best for most businesses. You're able to apply for money based on payroll, and you're able to pay that out, not have to pay it back. You actually still get a deduction for it on your tax return, and the loan is not taxable from what we're seeing right now. So I think you can win out on the deduction side as well. And so that's something I highly encourage you to take advantage of. So here's the deal. All of this is done through the SBA, which is done through local banks and bankers. So your bankers are going to be your best source for this. The applications started showing up today, but you can't submit them yet. At the earliest, you're looking at April 3rd from a business owner standpoint. Now, we're understanding this is also available to self-employed Schedule C sole proprietors. So if you're a small business, you don't have payroll, but you file a tax return as part of a sole proprietor or a Schedule C, then what we're understanding is they're going to take your profit, they're going to take your net and consider that your payroll. So let's say you're a landscaper and you do everything on your own and file it on a Schedule C tax return, on your personal return. Then if you brought in 40, you had 20 in expenses and you cleared 20 net, then that 20 is going to be what is used for your loan and for the forgiveness. Now, we're not certain about that. We need a lot of clarity here, but that's what we're understanding right now. And keep in mind, these things are changing daily. So the things we're telling you today or the things we learned yesterday may change tomorrow. But right now, we're starting to get more and more clarity. We're starting to learn more and more. With this Paycheck Protection Program, what also may be included, which is shocking but is really awesome if it works out that way, 1099 independent contractors are included as part of payroll cost. It reads in the bill this way. We're hearing multiple things from multiple places. Not sure what to depend on, but right now we're assuming and we're thinking payments to 1099 independent contractors are factoring into that payroll cost for the loan calculation formula and the loan forgiveness. Let's hope so. I hope we'll know more here in the next few days. Nobody's been able to apply yet, so we don't know some of these things. We don't know what the approval process is. We don't know the timeline. There's still a lot of unknowns. Spoke to 4 or 5 bankers today. I've been on calls, done a lot of research. We just don't know. We're learning as we go. So please be patient with your bankers and with anybody trying to provide you information. The other options, the other really good option for a small business owner or a business owner is through the EIDL loan. There's a $10,000 grant option. Now, this is the one thing that's done through the SBA website. You can go to the SBA website and you can apply for the $10,000 grant. There's supposed to be a 3-day approval. It's supposed to be fast money, really easy. It asks you a couple questions. It takes less than 10 minutes. You just need a little bit of info. You don't submit financials. You don't do any of that stuff. And whenever you apply, they're supposed to let you know in 3 days. Now, part of this $10,000 is you can do it and you can still apply for other loans inside of the SBA program. You can still apply for the Paycheck Protection Program. They're just going to adjust it based on you already getting 10 grand. But check that out. If you're a small business owner, if you don't have payroll, if you don't qualify for some of these others, go for that one. From our understanding is if you get the $10,000, you're probably not going to have to pay it back. It's probably going to be a full grant. No matter whether you do another loan or not, that's going to be yours to keep and part of this stimulus. That one is a first come, first served basis. So you want to jump on that. Jump online, fill it out. It's really easy. You put in your account number and they're supposed to let you know or deposit the funds in 3 days. So we're anticipating, we just started seeing people apply yesterday and today. So we're waiting to see what comes of that, and we'll let you know as soon as I start seeing some success or failure rates on that. The other option you have is a somewhat traditional SBA loan, but it falls under the EIDL process. And what that is emergency injury something loan. I can't even remember right now, EIDL. And it allows you to get an SBA loan easier, faster, less documents than you have before. Your interest rate is capped. You're looking at about a 3.75 interest rate, a 10-year AM, and essentially you're able to borrow up to $2 million. Now, it's a case-by-case approval, and depending on the size of your business and your financials determines the amount you can borrow. But for somebody wanting to consolidate some loans, for somebody that just needs some cash to weather the storm, somebody wants to borrow a lot more than just 2.5 months of payroll, this is the best option for you. You can borrow money fast, you can borrow it easy, you have a really low interest rate for a business. They've reduced a lot of components with the underwriting process. So you can check this out. You can go this route if you want to get more funds and want to get a bigger loan. All of these programs have payment deferrals. Your payments are deferred at least 6 months, some up to 12 months. If you have an existing SBA loan that's already in place, there's an automatic 6-month payment process they're covering for you. It's not a deferral. It's not tacked on at the end. They are making your payment for 6 months. So your principal and your interest for 6 months goes away. It's like you're paying it, but it's not coming out of your pocket, which is really awesome. And there's a lot of other details here. There's a lot of other things and components to this. These are some highlights. You gotta read more. I'll provide you links. I'll provide you more information. Read more, check it out, and we'll give you more information as we hear things coming through the pipe. We should start seeing applications for acceptance in the next few days for the Paycheck program. And if you're, what they're saying now is if you're self-employed and a sole proprietor, you're not going to be able to apply until April 10th. So it opens up to businesses with payroll first, then the self-employment side down the road. So check that out. If you have questions or reach out, happy to help however I can. Thanks.